here is Donald Trump. This is a rape trial, but it's a civil trial. Okay? Now, it's possible some of the ding-dongs who watch that Patrick Bet-David show are watching. Things can be illegal, but civilly illegal, which means that you don't go to jail. It means that you're subject to fines or a tortious reward, as opposed to like criminal, where it's a criminal case and you go. There's two aspects. There's civil law and criminal law in this country. This is a civil trial, and I think it's because the statute of limitations on a criminal trial have passed. However, New York State opened up the civil actions you could take against someone who has sexually assaulted you. They opened up that statute of limitations like a year or two ago, and I think there's a window. I'm not exactly sure the details, but that's why this part of the case went forward. The defamation and now the assault are here in this case. And Trump said he was going to come and testify, but he was in Ireland, I think it was, golfing, and then he couldn't get away. But it was interesting because it was reported that he said he was going to come, and then his lawyer said, hey, no, that's not the case. We're not going to put him on the stand. Here he is. This is the first one, is a deposition from Trump. This is after he was sued by Jean Carroll. She has accused him of raping her in the 1990s. Carroll's attorney asked Trump about his comments from the Access Hollywood tape.
In this video, I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet, just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the you can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the
Well, that's what it's. If you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true.
Pause, incidentally.
There's a brief moment 500,000 years ago where people got woke and you couldn't do it. But
the first thing they did after the Big Bang, they did the Big Bang.
If you look at some of those pictures of the hieroglyphics,
there's a triceratops that got really upset.
You can see the stars. Million years. They called them Brontosauruses for a reason.
grab women by the
Well, that's what it's. If you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
You consider yourself to be a star?
I think you can say that, yeah.
So not really locker room talk.
Yeah.
More like historical,
historical. Yeah. This is like a divine right. Right? I mean,
for the stars.
Yeah.
This is the amazing thing about, this is why they don't want him to testify, because he thinks it's defense.
Yeah.
That I'm just doing what the kings did back,
grab a peasant's pussy.
Haven't you ever heard of prima nocte? I mean,
at least I didn't kill my wives like
for
Henry
better, for
VIII.
worse.
I just cheated on them. And
for better or for worse, prima nocte. I mean, we were allowed to spend the first night with your wife.
I'll be like, for a million years, for the most, there was a few times 300,000 years ago.
There's been periods where it's like not so cool.
Yeah.
Here he is talking about the fact that he if you really spend some time thinking about this is his defense here, is that I only sexually assault people that I'm attracted to, and I'm clearly not attracted to her. Now, do we have the identification in this too? We're in the picture. He misidentified.
oh my God.
Jean Carroll at one point as his former wife. So the type argument, but we don't need to play this part.
When you said in that video that Ms. Leeds would not be your first choice, you were referring to her physical looks, correct?
Just the overall, I look at her, I see her, I hear what she says, whatever. You wouldn't be a choice of mine either, to be honest with you. I hope you're not insulted. I would not, under any circumstances, have any interest in you. I'm honest when I say it. I would not have any interest in.
A lot of people should be happy that I don't have an interest in sexually assaulting you. Because I'm a star and I can. But fortunately, I just don't feel like it with you.
You're not so good yourself.
You're giving
wouldn't
off a
rape you.
bad vibe.
Wow. I mean, that's like if we would have joked about how Trump would act under deposition. Like, you're probably a 3, probably wouldn't even look twice at you.
No, come on.
Well, I think he said this. I honestly think he said something like this in public too. I think he was asked like questions about different assaults because there were.
He's
remember,
done this.
Not
there
my
were
type.
20 claims that he assaulted in one way or another. 20 different women that we know of, and he's like, she wasn't my type. I wouldn't do that.
And that's who he's referring. When she says Miss Leeds, that's Jessica Leeds, who was a witness in this trial, who also claims that Trump sexually assaulted her. And he said the similar thing about her that he said about E. Jean Carroll, which is that she's not my type, so I wouldn't have ever done that.
Well, case closed then. You say she wasn't your type.
Dismissed.
I know.
Jesus.
You know, the amazing thing about this is that, like, on one level, I mean, I know there's a lot of people paying attention to this case. I you know, from our perspective, I don't know. I think it should be consequential, but I don't think it's going to be hugely consequential. I mean, the guy has to pay a fine, and I think, like, if it ends up being Biden and Trump or whoever and Trump, if Trump ends up being the Republican candidate, I would imagine people are going to say this guy was found guilty or liable of raping somebody. I don't know how much that's going to move a lot of the Republicans. I mean,
I saw a lot of reactions on Twitter with the blue check crowd. I mean, who knows? But they're all Republicans or conservative. It's like, based, total Chad.
Well, you remember, was it Chaffetz? Was it Jason Chaffetz who said, like, when that the
tape came out?
Came out, he's like, I can't face my daughter. I can't, in good conscience, face my daughter. He made a big show of it publicly. It took him, I think, like 2.5 weeks until he had come around.
We already had the grab him by the pussy tape. So